It's been nearly 3 years since Kaylee Goncalves was murdered. But this week, her parents finally spoke and censored. On the morning of November 13th, 2022, Kaylee, along with her best friend Madison Mogan, and 2 other students, Xana Kernadle and Ethan Chapin, were found brutally stabbed to death inside their off-campus home in Moscow, Idaho. The attack was silent, calculated, and horrifying. No witnesses. Number 911 call until hours later. The killer had slipped in and out while the others slept. For over a year and a half, the Goncalves family was silenced. Not by choice, by law. A sweeping gag order imposed early in the investigation banned them, and nearly everyone else connected the case from speaking to the press. Prosecutors said it was to ensure a fair trial, but to the Goncalves family, it felt like something darker, like the truth was being buried. They waited and waited until this month. On July 2nd, 2025, the man accused of killing Kaylee, Bryan Kohberger, a 28-year-old former criminology PhD student, pleaded guilty to 4 counts of murder and 1 count of burglary. No trial, no cross-examination, no motive. Kohberger's plea deal spared him the death penalty. In exchange, he'd serve 4 consecutive life sentences. The state accepted it. So did the families, some of them, but not Kaylee's. For the first time in nearly 2 years, her parents, Steve and Christy Goncalves, spoke publicly. The gag order had finally been lifted, and they didn't hold back. "We still don't know the motive," Steve said during an interview on CBS Mornings. His voice was calm, but full of restrained pain. "I think by hiding the truth, we're protecting our killers." His words landed like a thunderclap. For Steve, it wasn't just about closure. It was about truth, raw and undiluted. He wanted to know everything. Every horrific detail that had been buried in sealed files. "How many times was my daughter stabbed?" he asked. "Was she choked?" He said he wanted to see the crime scene photos. Not because he was morbid, because he needed to grasp the full ugliness of what had been done to Kaylee, so he could face it, so he could fight it. Christy, Kaylee's mother, sat beside him, quiet but resolute. To her, the plea deal was a gut punch. It felt like justice had skipped a step. "We were prepared for trial," she said. "We were ready to fight, to hear everything. Now, we're left with nothing but silence." But the silence might not last. Because with Kohberger's guilty plea and no trial on the horizon, the gag order has officially been lifted. And that means law enforcement, after years of withholding, can finally speak. Already, some details are trickling out. One investigator described the crime scene as something that makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up. A forensic expert confirmed the sheer overkill of the attacks. Multiple stab wounds per victim, some inflicted post-mortem. Still, the biggest mystery remains. Why? Why did Bryan Kohberger, a quiet, intelligent, socially awkward doctoral student, target 4 students he reportedly barely knew? He left his phone off during the killings. He wore gloves. He disposed of the weapon. He even stalked the home at least 12 times before the attack. According to prosecutors, he planned it for weeks, but the motive? Completely unknown. And unless new evidence is unsealed, the families, especially Goncalves, may never get that answer. Not every victim's family feels the same. The Chapin family, whose son, Ethan, was among the murdered, released a statement saying they supported the plea deal. They were ready to move on. They didn't want to endure the trauma of a trial. But Steve Goncalves says closure without answers isn't closure at all. His mission now, to unseal every document. Police reports, interrogation transcripts, crime scene photos, psychological evaluations. Everything. He says he's not afraid of what he'll find. He's afraid of what they'll never tell him. And this is where the story turns. Because on July 23rd, 2025, Bryan Kohberger will be sentenced in open court. The Goncalves family plans to deliver a powerful victim impact statement. One they say will not hold back. For the first time, the world may hear their pain unfiltered. And if the judge permits, more sealed details may be revealed that day. Steve hinted that their statement will name names, ask hard questions, and challenge what they see as a system more concerned with protecting a killer than honoring the dead. But just days before sentencing, rumors swirl that Kohberger has penned a chilling final statement to be read in court, one that could finally expose the motive the families have waited years to hear.